All right, so this morning we're going to have one of the benefits of being a sponsor here is to come up and give a little 15-minute commercial for your company and let us know the things that you do and what you're working on. So first up we have from Jacobs, Frank Mondo, the Director of Federal Asset Management. Thank you, Frank. And thanks for being a sponsor.
All right, good morning, everybody. I told Ron Cromps that I set the bar pretty low this morning, so everybody that comes after me, you're welcome. And it's great again to be up here this morning. I want to thank Diagon for the opportunity and again, being such great hosts over the years. Doing this summit, it really brings together this community to help share, learn, understand what's happening, what the trends are in the market, what our services and super users are doing with Builder and the SMS suite. So it's really great to be a part of that year after year, and we're really happy to be a sponsor again this year. So as Paul said, I am Frank Mondo with Jacobs, the director of our Federal Asset Management program, and I'll just get right into it. For those of you that have never heard of Jacobs, we're not small. We've got a little over 55,000 people worldwide doing some amazing things, and it all is built on a foundation of our values. We do things right. We aim higher, we challenge the accepted, and we live inclusion. And that's been a theme throughout the strategy in Jacobs for the last 5 to 6 years. It continues to evolve, it continues to grow, and I'll get into a few things that are supporting that strategy, but it's all based on the foundation of our values. And that really is from a top-down driven approach. So I'm proud to be part of that team, and these, as a retired Air Force civil engineer, we had core values in the Air Force, and these align very much with what I'm used to. And when I came over to the company 5 years ago, it was just the right fit. And I think that's part of what makes Jacobs special, is that we have this value foundation that drives everything that we do. And speaking of driving, those accelerators in our growth strategy were identified as, again, we see what the markets are doing, we see what the world needs, or what our clients need, and these growth accelerators align with our corporate strategy. And it's climate response, consulting and advisory, that's the space where my team lives for the most part. And then data solutions. You saw yesterday my team, Jared and Zach, were up here talking about Builder Vision, for those of you that had a chance to see that presentation. So the confluence there of consulting and advisory and data solutions as a corporate strategic driver and accelerator really is exciting to me as the practice lead, because it aligns directly with what my team was already doing. So to see that corporately, that's the direction that we're heading, it's really exciting for the future. So we established a federal and environmental solutions advisory solutions. That's a mouthful, but for those of you that may follow this, throughout the news, Jacobs Engineering Group changed its name formally to Jacobs Solutions a couple of years ago, and we're now just a J on the New York Stock Exchange. But the point of that is that we're very solutions oriented, and we're about helping our clients solve their greatest challenges. So we established an advisory solutions group within our federal and environmental solutions team. We focus on planning, asset management, global health security in the wake of the pandemic and COVID-19, we have really leaned forward into global health security and helping agencies like DTRA, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, in monitoring and developing technologies that for biosurveillance type thing. Energy and commissioning are also some of the practices within our advisory solutions team. But again, aligning with those growth accelerators on consulting and data analytics, that's really where our team thrives. So we established the why, this golden circle model that you may have seen over in several different kinds of presentations over the years. But starting, from the inside and working our way out, but understanding the why. The mission is to solve our clients' most challenging problems. Some of them, they don't even know that they have. And that's part of what we view as being a consultant, is helping them understand the challenges around them and what are the problem sets that they're dealing with, to then collaboratively work on a solution and then get after it. So that's sort of our approach. We try to bring together the subject matter experts that have those relationships with our clients, because we are very much a relationship-based organization. But we get back to that question of why are we here, and it's really to serve. It's to help our clients do what they need to do to solve their most challenging issues. So I already alluded to the structure of our advisory team, but this is what we look like holistically. We have some key market solutions that and global leaders that are focused on those market sectors like energy and power, sustainability and climate response, engineering with nature. I love that phrase. I love that term. It really is about sustainability and resiliency, but bringing in the true environmental and civil engineering aspects of working with your environment and leaving, as small of a footprint as you can to continue to grow and evolve and develop for projects and engineering. But it's really a neat concept. Installation modernization and readiness, again, one of those sort of focus areas we want to help, especially our DoD clients, in understanding that we have a mission focus just like they do, and we want to make sure that their installations and their facilities are mission ready to be able to continue to protect and serve the American public. And you can't do that if our facilities are falling apart and not operationally ready. And all this stuff that we've been talking about over the last 2 days all ties together with that. And then climate action and decarbonization. We all know that reducing the carbon footprint is a global concern, and Jacobs is sort of leaning forward into a great deal of decarbonization programs and projects around the world. So right at the top of that circle there, that's the asset management team. I've got 58 staff currently. We continue to grow. We've been hiring, and especially in the data science arena. Jared and his team are growing at a pretty fast pace. But across the board there, here's some of the core offerings of those 5 practices. Again, in the asset management group, my team, we do builder assessments. I want to put that out there as well. But we do a lot of other things, developing asset management strategies aligned with ISO 55000, maturity assessments, organizational maturity. Where are you as an organization along the Institute of Asset Management maturity scale, and help develop roadmaps to bring the organization along to meet that more mature status. We develop O&M strategies. Over the years, we've had several clients come to us with concerns about how to optimize their operations and maintenance organizations. In fact, we've done a good bit of work with NAVFAC out in the Pacific. And on the human capital side of things, we developed what they call the PW readiness tool, and it's an opportunity to evaluate the level of training of the PWO staff or PWD staff at the installations across the Pacific, and gives them the opportunity to identify where training is required so that they can meet the operational requirements of maintaining and operating their facilities. Our energy management team does a lot in the renewable energy planning. They've done an EV study out at Marine Corps Base Hawaii, and are continuing to work with decarbonization, as I mentioned, planning and modeling in that space. Global health security, again, I mentioned that a little while ago. In the wake of COVID-19, it has really become a growth market in biosurveillance and understanding how to propagate technology across those arenas to keep our teams safe and clients. The commissioning team, again, they focus on whole building commissioning as well as retro commissioning and recommissioning, making sure that systems are operating at their full capacity without with the right level of energy efficiencies that it was designed to do. And then, of course, our traditional planning team, they do strategic master planning. We've got work across all the services right now doing our plan development for the Army. We've got master planning activities going on with the Air Force, implementation of development of 1391s, and they've got a fairly robust GIS capability as well. All right, just to touch real quickly on some of those unique advisory solutions that I mentioned. Again, operational excellence, data analytics, energy transition and decarbonization, and sustainability and resiliency. Those are all tied back to those growth accelerators that I mentioned at the beginning, where corporately Jacobs is focusing on making the world a better place. I know that sounds really corny, right? But that's truly what its focus is to help our clients and develop those solutions that are getting after these great global challenges. But in our space, in the asset management world, and especially here within the builder community, I wanted to highlight this project. Was that a question or? Okay, that's fine. I just thought somebody had a question. So as part of our support to the Army Materiel Command, the G4, the Builder Program, and the Organic Industrial Base, the OIB, we are providing subject matter expertise support to the G4. And we've been working with Christina McCarthy Martin for a little over a year and a half now in developing ways to better understand how to use the builder data and how to effectively fill the gaps that are from the original implementations across the board. We know that several of the installations were assessed prior to the current Army guidance publication, so there was a change in the business rules, there was a change in the processes that were used to collect the data. Tools have matured, QC processes have gotten better, more efficient. So we've been helping the AMC enterprise go through all of the data and help understand where those gaps are and close them with some data quality measures. One of those measures is the development of the Be Ready team, the Builder Rapid Engineering Data Evaluation Team. What is, a good military project without a good, cool acronym? So we've developed the Be Ready team, and it's essentially a two-person approach to go out to the installations and help them validate where there are anomalies in their program projects that are it's in danger potentially of Department of Army pulling funding for the construction because there's a misalignment between what was submitted on the project programming documents and what's in Builder. And if the Builder data is saying that the project is in good quality, or the building quality rating is high enough, then the Department of Army doesn't want to fund and direct those funds elsewhere where it's most needed. So we're helping the installations identify where those data anomalies are, and one of the metrics you see there on the far left, we rescued $224 million worth of projects last year at the end of the fiscal year from being canceled, essentially because there was anomalies in the Builder data that we helped identify and correct. And then again, I just want to give a shout out to our digital solutions team. Jared and Zach did a great job here yesterday talking about the developments in Builder Vision and what we're doing there. But that's not all they're doing. As I mentioned, Jared is leading the effort over in Korea at Camp Humphreys right now. We're developing a decision support system that incorporates Builder data as well as a lot of other digital solutions provided at the base level. So supporting them in their base operations center with data dashboards and making good data decisions. I'm getting the hook signal, so I'm going to hurry up through this. I apologize, Paul. I'm going to get off the stage here. But I just wanted to say, again, we do Builder. So that graphic there, we've done over 437 million square feet of Builder assessments and family housing inspection work across the globe. This is, again, part of the community that we've grown up in, and we've been a part of it for well over a decade, and we're proud to be a continued partner with the SMS community. So last parting thoughts there. Jacobs is focused on building long-term relationships while meeting the needs of our clients where and when they need it most. As I said it earlier, I'll say it again. We're about building relationships. We're about making those long-term engagements valuable to our clients because we value them. And that is all I have. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. There we go. All right, Kelly's changing out some slides. And while we do that, please welcome Steve Hauser, who's the senior principal at Stantec. Uh-oh. And me, apparently, too. We'll be right back. All right, bring the dog back out. Oh, come on. Good job, Paltiel. All right, we're back.
All right, well, we got a live mic now.
Steve Hauser from Stantec.
That's dangerous. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Again, my name's Steve Hauser. I'm with Stantec. I've been in the industry about 40-something years, 43 to be exact, I believe. And I really enjoyed listening to Frank because I spent 20 of my years with Jacobs. And there were some things in there that I that I recognized in terms of sayings and mottos, what have you. By the way, it's a wonderful company. I absolutely enjoyed my 20 years there. A quick thank you to Kelly and the SMS Summit for the opportunity to represent Stantec here. And I want to thank our partners, many of whom are our longtime partners. WSP, for example, is here in the audience as well, and we've partnered with them for a long time, and we really feel good about our partnership. Some more on that in just a minute. So, Stantec at a glance, you're going to see some repetitive things, I think, from what Jacob showed today. I think we're growing. We're in this business as well, and you know, I like to say, watch out, AECom, watch out, Jacobs. We're on your tails, but we're not quite there yet. We're getting there. But the one thing that I want to point out about this slide, as you kind of look over the numbers, is that the top global presence and firm rankings, top 100 global most sustainable corporations amongst industry peers. To me, that means the most out of all of those, and I think we're really onto something as a company from a sustainability perspective. And again, Frank emphasized some of those points with Jacobs. I think we've got a lot of good people in this industry, and we're very fortunate to be able to be part of it. What about our federal program, just a little bit? Their numbers speak for themselves. A couple of things I want to draw attention to on this slide. In 2023 and again now in 24, we've been recognized as a military-friendly employer. We work really hard to identify veteran candidates for opportunities and participate in many of the industry forums for interviews and counseling and direction and guidance to our veterans. And I just wanted to make sure I point that out. It's very good. And the second thing I want to point out on this is that 790 active partnerships. I think very much in this day and time, you can't do anything by yourselves. Everything is dependent upon who you work with, what kinds of capabilities you complement yourself with. And you've probably heard the old adage, if you want good partners, be a good partner. It's the same thing in friendships. It's the same thing in a lot of things in life. You know, seek out those and be a good friend, be a good partner, and you will get good partners in return. Stantec's business lines are pretty straightforward, and it's, again, if you drew this up and put a parallel to Jacobs and AECom and some of the other industry giants, you're going to find this very similar. Infrastructure, buildings and facilities, environmental services, energy and resources, and water resources. In those five, out of that $7 billion, between water and environmental services, water resources and environmental services, that makes up probably almost half of that, both in the private sector and for the federal government. You notice that we practice federal against each of these market areas. It's the federal government spends a lot of money, and that's why we're all here to some degree today, too, and over the last couple of days. What does Stantec offer in the way of services? This is kind of an eye chart, isn't it? Sorry about that. But I can just bring a couple notes in here. Preliminary design and design management and detailed design is our forte. We are the ultimate AE firm with a capital A and a capital E. Program management and construction management, PMCM, is a big growing part of our work. And again, we provide all of these types of services to our federal clients. You're going to recognize this slide a little bit, I think. Yesterday, Matt Walters presented the target key SMS enterprise targets within the federal government. These are our key clients within the federal government. All the Department of Defense agencies and then the non-defense agencies, Department of Interior, USDA, NOAA, et cetera, are all major clients for Stantec. I believe the federal government is Stantec's largest client overall on an annual basis, and I think that tells a lot as well. The Corps of Engineers and the Navy are our two biggest clients right now, followed closely by TVA, a non-DoD agency, and so I think that's telling as well. But I believe this looks very familiar to you. Now that next to last slide that Frank put up is interesting compared to this one. We all have a way of counting our square footage that we've done and our prowess in the SMS builder market. I just love this slide. I think it tells a big story. And it shows you we've been in this business for a long time. It's a big core part of our facilities practice. And it does a good job of really showing out. And I'm a little bit surprised at how close the square footage was that we've done, that you've done as well, Frank. It was very good. You might think I'm stumping for Jacobs up here, but I'm not. I'm just telling you, we're right on their heels, man. We're right on their heels. I bled blue for a long time. Oh, let me go back. Okay, so what differentiates Stantec a little bit, and we all have different ways of looking at this and selling these core values to our clients and our friends and our partners and our future employees. We like to put people first. I'll put it back to Jacob's context. People are our greatest asset. That's one of their axioms, right? We're better together. We design with the community in mind. We really want to partner with our communities on the local level, on the next level up at the state level, the federal level, and within our private sector client community. We are better together. We do what is right. I don't think there's ever a bad time to do the right thing. Generally, no problem gets better with time, right? We all have heard that before and practice it every day. So I really emphasize that the minute there's an issue or challenge, you get everybody in one room and lock the door and you solve that challenge. Don't go downstream putting lipstick on a pig, because it just doesn't work. We're driven to achieve. And I'm going to truncate my presentation this morning with just a contact slide here for us. Many of you know Will Cassidy, and many of you know Robin and Doug, who are partners here with us today and have been doing this work for over 20 years. So be sure to reach out and say hi to those folks. And if there's anything I can do while I'm here this morning, please reach out. I don't have anything else to add, and I don't know if I slipped it out, spread it out long enough for you or not. Awesome, thank you.
Jacine Witzel, who has requested a step stool. So, what is that like?
It's nice on planes. You win on concerts, though.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, it should be right here. There you go.
See if I can not fall
that-
off this. It's pretty robust.
Is that gonna work?
I'm a
Right.
whole 2.5, 3 inches taller. I was like, I don't want to be the floating head that's just above the monitor. So my name's Jacine. I am not military background, so I will not spout a whole bunch of acronyms at you, and I have a whole 2 slides. So brevity is the word of the day. Oh, yeah, there we go. Brevity is the word of the day for me. I'm actually going to try out my improv comedy routine on you guys, so welcome. So we'll do the real thing first, and then I did recently take a workshop on fermentation. So if you want to know how to make sauerkraut or a good sourdough bread starter, I can hook you up with that too. So Tetra Tech is a full-service architecture, engineering, environmental, and IT consulting firm. We amazingly do and sound like all the other big firms that are going to present today. So that's why I was like, let's just do the 2 slides, because you don't want to hear me talk this long. We support our clients with really anything they need. Tetra Tech's huge. We do a lot of stuff. And again, I'm typically the color commentary, and so the fact that they let me talk today is probably not the smartest idea. But we're all about relationships, well, like everybody else. But like, we solve clients' problems. We help them figure out what some of the problems are sometimes. We want to help them with their infrastructure, asset management, IT, digital twin needs, all of the cool AI stuff. We don't necessarily give you a creepy dog to work with. Sorry, Digon. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It did tricks. Beautiful. But no, we're trying to help our clients with any challenges they run into and ensure efficiency and optimization and modernization. We do master planning. Actually, you guys didn't tell me how to advance this, so I'm going to try it. Look, I did it. We do master planning and asset management. We, of course, are great at Builder, otherwise why would we be here? And we are super excited about SMS because we want everything in one big bundle. We're excited about that. We do utilities, condition assessments for those, GIS mapping of them, geospatial services, and like I said, the digital twins and energy management, all the controls. We can help map and track all of those for you as well. I am nowhere near my 15 minutes, so I don't know. Do you guys want the sauerkraut recipe? I can tell you how to do it. It's really easy. Paul's going to rescue me. He's going to come up here and be like, okay, you need to get off the stage.
We'll make this work. All right. Thank you, Jacine. That'll give me time to get the step stool out of here. There we go. All right. Do we know another slide swap? All right, next up from Alpha, please welcome Ron Kromps, who is the Facility Asset Management Practice Director. Was it right? All right, thank you, Ron. Please welcome Ron.
Well, I was the anchor man last year. Looks like I'm the anchor man again this year. That's okay, I was in the Navy, so I know a few things about anchors. But I won't talk about anchors. I'm very pleased to be here to present our company capabilities to you. Again, I'm Ron Kromps, the Facility and Infrastructure Asset Management Practice Director for Alpha. If there's one key message I'd want to leave with you today, Alpha's purpose and mission and our passion is and always has been to collect good facility data, to interpret and analyze that data, data analytics, and turn that into good facility information so you have good facility information to make key decisions, to make arguments for resources. That's why we formed 16 years ago. We stayed true to that, and that's our core mission and passion, and everything we do revolves around that. So I wanted to make that real clear right up front. But of course, there are a few more details, so let me show you some company highlights, client history, and highlights, contract opportunities, and trends and pursuits. So we are Alpha Facility Solutions. We are a service-disabled, veteran-owned, minority-owned small business right here in San Antonio. We have around 85 to 100 staff, not like the big guys, but we're licensed A&E in Texas. We stay in the planning and assessment quadrant of the facility life cycle. We're not trying to feed ourselves design work or construction administration or follow-on work. We're focused on asset inventory and condition assessment. So whether it's K-12 or higher ed or the municipal space or the federal space, facility asset management truly is our passion and always has been. We've helped our clients secure over $10 billion in additional funding through the power of the good data and information we collect and provide over the last 16 years. What is facility asset management? I know this is a little bit basic, but I really like fundamentals. I think focusing on fundamentals can be very helpful. DJ Vanier wrote this really helpful article some years ago. You may have read it. If you haven't, it's a really good read. And he defined facility asset management around 6 what questions. You might say it's sort of the science of what, facility asset management. He asked, what assets do we own? Or the 6 questions of facility asset management. What assets do we own? What's the value of our assets? What's the condition of our assets? And in answering those first few questions, they kind of set up the next 3. What maintenance then has been deferred? What hasn't been done? What's the remaining service life on those assets that still have a service life and the replacement cost of those assets? And having gathered all that information, then, all right, what in the world should we do first? And this can be a cyclical process you keep doing over and over again as an asset manager. But the promise of facility asset management then in answering these 6 questions is, well, I can know things that I don't know now that I feel like I really should know. And answering those 6 questions leads to the fulfillment of that promise. I now know things that are going to help me make better decisions and make good arguments for resources. We've added a few other questions to that, so there might be really 10 questions. How do you keep the assets working through their life cycle? Well, that's a preventive maintenance program. What's the record or history of maintenance on these assets? Well, that's a barcode or QR code tagging program. How many people does it take, and what's the cost of the human capital to manage the assets through their life cycle? And what does it cost to be a responsible owner overall of the assets? So total cost of ownership modeling. The reason I labor those 10 questions and explain those 10 questions is because Alpha formed our company around answering those questions, those key questions of facility asset management. So the services we provide are aligned to answering those key questions about facility asset management, and we can help you, of course, with real property and equipment inventory services and facility condition assessments, so preventive maintenance programs, capital planning and renewal programs, and all these that you see listed on the slide, environmental audits and services, water resource management, even workforce skills management. Humans are assets as well, right? So we market a product called Readiness Insight to give the leadership of, say, a weapons loading team or a security force insight into the readiness of their staff, their certification to do the work that they've got to do, the important work that they've got to do, Readiness Insight, and facility budget guidance. So we've assessed over 550 million square feet over the past 16 years, answering these key questions. And for whom? So our client history and highlights are as follows. Numerous DoD agencies, all the military services, the reserves, Army and Marine Corps reserves. We have 2 current contracts with the Army National Guard, staff augmentation of the Army National Guard headquarters, and also Army Materiel Command, U.S. Department of Agriculture and Labor. So we've provided SMS services to all these clients, and then numerous other clients at the state and municipal level, higher ed and K-12, healthcare, commercial and manufacturing, fast food, hospitality, et cetera, et cetera. So a wide range of clients who have large inventories of facilities and need help answering those questions. We try to make ourselves accessible via standing contracts like these. On the federal side, GSA OASIS, Small Business Pool, and the multiple award schedule, the Houston-Galveston area contract. And for the non-federal side, Sourcewell and TIPS, also Seaport. So you see all the logos up there of the standing contracts that we have contracts with to make ourselves accessible to a wide range of clients. What about trends and pursuits? Well, you might say the science of where, right? GIS has that great moniker, the science of where, integrated with this science of what, the asset management services. So we see integration of GIS and traditional asset management services. Of course, applying the Federal Business Performance Standard and decarbonization, both in the federal side, and those federal standards apply to the non-federal side as well. Space utilization post-pandemic, we're doing a big project for FEMA right now, and we're also doing a project for a municipal organization up in the Northeast, so space planning post-pandemic. Strategic asset management plans, where we see the alignment of facilities to the organizational mission. That's what the basics of a strategic asset management plan, so we see that as a trend. And of course, finally, analytics playing more of a role in holistic asset management, because after all, that's how you translate facility data into facility information so that you have that good information to make good decisions. Well, that's just a quick overview of Alpha. We're very pleased to be a sponsor of the SMS Summit, and really enjoyed interacting with you over the last few days and look forward to more interaction. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ron. And again, thanks to all of our sponsors. That's what keeps this conference free. So thank you very much. If you see them out in the lobby, please thank them as well. All right, there's still some goodies out there in the lobby, so we're going to take a break till the bottom of the hour, 9:30, and get to our first session.